as you guys can see, I have my two exhaust bolts grinded down, and I'm going to show you exactly what we're going to do with those. Also, a huge shout out to Josh for just showing me this, dude. I would have been lost. Alright, so coming over to the product, guys, we got the Skunk 2 Alpha header right here. You got the two O2 sensors. You have your adapter right here. Wicked heavy duty looking, guys. Bolts right onto a 3-bolt exhaust system. And then I have my Blocks Racing donut gasket. Defouler for the O2 sensor right here. I have my O2 sensor extension. And then there is a Skunk 2 donut gasket. Don't use this, guys. You could just tell that this looks like junk. So this header does not come with bolts, and as you can see, I just trimmed down these pretty much in the back. So what those are going to do, so this adapter goes just like that, and you're going to be able to slide these through. This was the issue before, fitting these regular bolts right through here like this. So trimming them down made it super easy. So you're gonna put see how the bolts just slide right through just like that. So you're gonna have to trim your exhaust bolts, and then the spring's gonna go behind it, and then I'm gonna have to get 2 washers, and then the nut's gonna tighten down the washer. All right, so when you're all set up and you put the adapter on, this is gonna look just like that. And this piece right here, don't worry about having it the right way at first, because this rotates, so you can line up with your exhaust. So now we got midnight right here. I gotta jack this thing up, but before I jack it up, I'm gonna work on taking like the whole windshield cowl off first, and then I'm going to remove the metal guard over the valve cover, so I can get access to the heat shield and the header bolts, which are behind the motor, which suck. All right, so for the windshield cowl, you're gonna have 1 plastic lock pin, you're gonna have 2, and then there's a 3rd one right there. That's disconnected. There we go. I'm gonna fold this over the windshield here. Just pop this right up here, guys. All right, next, guys, we're gonna have to remove this metal bar right here. So it's gonna be right over your valve cover. So in the corners here, we're gonna have 10 millimeters. So you have a 10 millimeter right there. In the back, those are 2 12s. And then you follow it through, and in the back, like right there, that's another 10. And same sizes on this side. You have a 10 mil and 2 12 mil. All right, guys, working on our last 3 bolts right here for the metal water shield here, and then we'll be able to remove the metal shield out of the way. All right, guys, we'll put this off to the side. So down in the back, guys, is our lovely header. Once we remove that heat shield right there, there's about, so we have 2, so there's 3 bolts on that. We got to remove that heat shield. I'm going to spray PB Blaster on all 3 of them. You have 2 up top, and then there's 1 at that bottom, and then we could pull that heat shield right off. There's a 3rd one right down there. All right, guys, just working on getting the heat shield off. You're gonna need a ratchet with an extension and a 12 millimeter, either a deep socket or just a 12 millimeter socket. So it'll come off, guys. It's just gonna take time. So. All right, guys, so for that 3rd bolt back there, I was trying to get the heat shield off. That one back there, I can't get it off. It's like stripped and it's rusted, but there is movement in the heat shield. Like I could fold it back. There's the header. I can get the bolts from up here, but I wanted to take the heat shield off. So I think I'm gonna go underneath and see if I can get those spring bolts down there unloosened, and then worry about this heat shield. All right, so let's see what is going on here. Man, this looks like it's gonna be fun. All right, guys, so we're under the car here. Subframe is right here. I got my cat converter right here. So look at how much rust is on that bolt right there. Like, I have to take those two out right in front of me, and then over on the other side here, there's another bolt right there that needs to come out, and I still gotta get these O2 sensors out. One right there. So I guess I'm gonna bring the PB blaster under here and just go to town. So hopefully I can get the cat separated from the OEM header. Alright, so just a quick update. I literally gave everything a PB blaster bath, including the O2 sensor, both O2 sensors, and pretty much all the bolts. I didn't reach the top yet, but once I get this cat out, if I get the cat out, then I'll be able to lubricate the other bolts from down here, and hopefully I can get that damn heat shield off. So alright, so guys, I ended up getting one of the spring bolts out, and it was an absolute nightmare. That one right there, it was super rusted, as you could see. It's kind of hard to see it, but I was using just a 3/8 drive breaker bar with an extension with a 12 mil. This one is stripped on the head, so I'm gonna have to drop down a smaller size socket to be able to fit that on there, but that one is like stripped, so I'm gonna try my best to get this one off next. So I know it's mad ghetto, guys, but what I did is literally, I have an extension right here. If your bolts are like crazy rusted the head, you're gonna have to drop down a socket size. So that is a 12 millimeter. I tried putting an 11 millimeter on there and it didn't work. So what I'm doing now is, this is so hack, guys. I don't suggest you try this, but just using a hammer, and I have this head on there, that 10 millimeter, so it's all the way flush. I'm gonna go ahead and put a breaker bar in it and see if I could spin it. That certainly did work, guys, but my stud is literally stuck into the OEM manifold. But on this good note, the cat converter is free, so before we go ahead and remove the cat converter, guys, I got my O2 sensor tool right here, and we're gonna go ahead and crawl under. I need to remove the downstream, so I need to remove the downstream O2 sensor, and I need to remove the upstream O2 sensor. So here's your two O2 sensors, guys. Here's the downstream one connected right into the cat, and then you have your other one, which is right up there in the corner. Let it sit even. Go ahead and try to get this thing out. Alright, guys, so there it is. One of the O2 sensors is out. Now we're gonna go ahead and try to get this pesky bottom one out. Dude, this thing does not want to come out. There it is, guys. There's the secondary. Alright, so now we are ready to drop the cat. Everything is disconnected, as you guys can see, from the manifold up top. So all I need to do now, we're going to leave this on the bracket to make our lives easier, and I can go ahead and remove those bolts back there. I believe they're 14 and 16 mils, so I'm going to go ahead and drop the cat now. Alright, so as you guys can see, the cat is officially out, and mine is in such crappy condition. Like, look at all the rust on it, and I'm gonna actually have to go back to the hardware store now, because check out these bolts. So these are like the bolts that I use for my Onaka, and I installed that not too long ago. They're already literally, they look like they've been on the car for like years, so I'm gonna have to go pick up some new bolts and stuff like that. But for now, I'm gonna go back under there. I'm gonna try to work on taking the OEM exhaust manifold off. Back under the car, I gotta work on getting this bracket off right here. That's a 14 millimeter bolt. Alright, so I ended up getting this bolt out. Look at how rusted that thing is, guys. Holy crap. I started with my 3/8 drive breaker bar to pretty much break it loose, and then I use my lovely Ryobi impact with an extension. Alright guys, so I'm pretty much done with underneath the car for right now. I lowered it down a little bit so that I can come back here and hopefully get these. The only thing I need to do now is to pretty much get the manifold out, the OEM one. So I'm hoping I can get these bolts out. Alright, so the easiest way to do this, guys, I just lubricated all the bolts with PB. Take your phone out, get a light, and you'll be able to scan. So there's a bolt right there, and then there's one down there in the middle, and then there's another one right on the top right here, and then we have 2 on the bottom. So I believe there's 5 bolts. So we're gonna go ahead and figure those out. So instead of just trying to feel around, take your phone and you can line up your socket and ratchet with it. And I was able to get, there's a header bolt way in the back corner there. I was able to get that off, and I'm working on getting this other one off on the bottom right. So that's my 3/8 drive breaker bar. I was able to fit it in there with an extension and a 14mm bolt. So wish me luck, guys. This is a pretty tough job for like a first timer, or even just if you're experienced. Just the location with everything is kind of a pain. So still haven't got the heat shield off, but I'm gonna keep going here. So, well, on the positive side, I got the heat shield off, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to pull it up through here. But I'm still fighting. With the manifold, guys. Like, this thing's giving me a hard time. The bolts are really bad. I got 2 off so far. So there's the heat shield finally out. All right, guys. OEM manifold is out. We had to put heat to it, my cousin and I. So now it's time to install the Skunk 2 Alpha header, and I'm reusing the OEM exhaust manifold gasket. It's probably a bad idea, but I'm using that. Got to put my defouler in right here. All right, guys, I'm sorry if it's hard to see, but I'm gonna go ahead and install this. Alright guys, Skunk 2 Alpha is on. I just need to go up top and put this exhaust manifold gasket on. I didn't even have to drop the subframe, guys, at all. I literally just wedged it in. There's a bracket right here with all the connections. Literally right there. It's kind of a pain, so I went in at an angle from the left, and then I went to the right, and then vice versa pretty much, and I worked my way in there. It was kind of frustrating because I was kind of rubbing against the subframe, but I made it work. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the gasket on there, tighten up a couple bolts up top. All right, guys, little update for you right here. So as you can see, the Skunk 2 header is officially on. I just need to torque the header studs right now to 33 pound-feet of torque, and then I can work my way down at the bottom. So this is definitely one of the bigger jobs, guys, for the 8th Gen SI. If you're considering doing this, you know, take your time and make sure you have all the tools, heat, everything. So I have my Skunk 2 O2 sensor extension right here. I'm gonna try to get this from the top here. I don't know if you guys could see, it's kind of hard to see down there, but in the back, down at the bottom there, I can unclip the O2 from in the back down there. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to reach down there and see what I can do. Putting on the O2 extension right now. Should clip. Yup, there you go. Nice, dude. Bringing you guys underneath the car. Let me show you guys what we have going on here exactly. So as you can see, the O2 extension is for the front O2 sensor right there. So I have it tucked off the side here. You could see we kind of made, my cousin helped me, kind of threaded it through some like wiring to keep it away from the header itself for heat purposes. And then we have a zip tie right there holding it onto one of those lines. I still have to tighten that O2 sensor up. Coming back here, we have the defouler right on there, angled upward like that. I'm gonna go ahead and install that O2 sensor into that, and then I can work on tightening up my exhaust bolts and the spring bolts itself. All right, guys, header talk right now. Header job is officially done right now, so we're gonna do a first startup and see how this thing sounds.